What fruit puckers your mouth, sweetens in fall, and predicts the weather in folklore? It's a tree that I found growing under a grove of oak trees between my house and the road. It's a natural section of the yard, so it's always fun to see what's growing there. This spring, I noticed several of these small trees that are now about 6 feet tall. I didn't recognize them, so after having the help of the iNaturalist community, I realized that they're American persimmons. Therefore, this month's podcast is exploring the American persimmon, its natural history, some cultural uses, and even how it was once used to tell the winter forecast. Welcome to Nature of the Upstate, a podcast sharing my investigations of the natural world around the Upstate. I'm your host, Laura Beltran with Nature Investigations. Since I'm new to the Upstate, South Carolina area, I thought I'd research different nature topics of things I've observed while exploring the outdoors and share my findings with you. So sit back, enjoy listening, and please subscribe. And remember to spend time outdoors. The common persimmon belongs to the ebony family, Ebonaceae. Its scientific name, Diospyros virginiana, roughly translates to divine fruit of Virginia, so people in the past must have really liked persimmons. It's a small tree, typically growing 30 to 60 feet tall. One of its signature features is the bark. It's thick, dark, and divided into square-like blocks, noted to look like an alligator's hide. The leaves are a glossy green, simple, which means that it just doesn't have any teeth-like jagged edges or lobes like an oak, and it's just an oval shape, like a young child's drawing of a leaf. It's deciduous, so it drops its leaves in the fall. The small pale yellow flowers bloom in the spring. American persimmon is dioecious, which means that there are separate male and female flowers on different trees. So you need to have both around in order to produce fruit and for pollination to happen. And pollination happens from native bees. So by late summer or early fall, that's when the fruit begins to appear. The fruits are round, about an inch or two across, often ripening to a golden or deep orange color, and they look like tiny pumpkins. But keep in mind, unless they're fully ripe, they're really mouth-puckering. The tree prefers full sun to produce this fruit. You'll often find it in dry upland forests, bottomlands also, old fields, and along roadsides, mostly in the southeastern and mid-Atlantic states stretching west into Texas and north into parts of the Midwest. It can grow in areas up to about 2,700 feet in elevation. The fruit isn't just enjoyed by humans, but wildlife as well. Deer, raccoons, foxes, opossums, turkeys, and bears are all known to eat the late fall fruit. Therefore, it bridges the seasonal food gap before wintertime. Once ingested, these animals become food dispersers, where the seeds are dispersed in their scat, a natural replanting strategy. So it's a good tree to have if you're doing natural landscaping for wildlife. If you want to plant and eat American persimmons for yourself, the tree is low maintenance, pest resistant, and both drought and flood tolerant. It's also thought to be more resistant to climate change because of all of that. It's important to remember that it's a dioecious tree, and since male and female flowers are on separate trees, you need both to bear the fruit. I've never even seen the fruit, but I learned that to harvest it, it's best when the fruit drops to the ground on its own or can be shaken loose from the tree. It's also best to use a tarp to collect the ripe fruit. It used to be believed that the fruit would only ripen after the first frost, but actually it doesn't require a frost to ripen. The fruit gradually ripens over time. The unripe fruit is full of tannins and very astringent, but the tannins break down as the amount of day length decreases in the fall, and the fruit gradually softens and sweetens. This ripening often coincides with the first frost, and that's probably where the belief that frost was required for fruit ripening started. Cooler temperatures may speed up the softening, but frost isn't necessary. To note, ripe American persimmons are very soft, like overripe tomatoes. If the fruit resists pressure when squeezed, or obviously puckers your mouth, it's not ready to eat yet. But you can harvest it before it's ripe and place the fruit in a basket or a paper bag to wait for it to ripen. The fruit can be eaten raw, dried into fruit leather, or added to breads or pudding recipes. I even read that it can be made into a homemade ice cream flavor. I've never had a persimmon, but it supposedly tastes similar to dates, spiced apricots, or caramel custard. It sounds good. Besides being known for edible fruit, American persimmon has been studied for other uses. The unripened fruit is so astringent, it's been studied medicinally, and it's been found to have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. But as far as the wood's concerned, the tree is too small to be grown commercially. But it is good for craft making, things like spoons, knife handles, and other tools. And here's some persimmon folklore. The seed was thought to be able to predict the coming winter season. Cut a ripe persimmon seed in half and look for the white shape inside. If it's shaped like a spoon, it means there will be lots of snow in the winter and lots of shoveling required. If it's shaped like a knife, there will be cutting winds. And if it's shaped like a fork, it will be a mild winter. Although not scientifically accurate, it could be a fun nature journaling and seasonal awareness activity to do with kids. Thanks for joining me for this investigation of the American persimmon, and you can find links for more information in the episode notes. I encourage you to try a persimmon. I know that I'm planning on doing that, and observe wildlife interactions with the tree, or try the folklore experiment and see if it predicts winter correctly. Also, please think of subscribing, and if you're interested in tips and lessons for interpretation and environmental education, look for my Substack, Reflections from the Field, at fieldreflections.substack.com. Until next time, I'm Laura Beltran, reminding you to stay curious and stay connected to nature. Let's get outside, Upstate.